Hello, friends. Your friend David Valentin here to talk about Stevenage Football Club. Um, if you want to know why I follow Stevenage all the way here in Orlando, Florida, there's a video that I created a couple of years back talking about the whys, and I will include that video here on the description box. But in the meantime, I am super excited to be making this video talking about Stevenage getting promoted to League One. Um, I um, I follow the club this whole season, game out, game in, game out. We started super hot, then we hit a few skids due to injuries. One of my favorite players, Elliot List, got hurt. Came first game of the season. Um, it was just very tough. But the boys are going to League One against all odds. Um, to give you a quick story how I ended up following the club, I follow Orlando City here in the city where I live, Orlando. So the MLS club, in case you're wondering. And one day on Twitter, I saw two friends from Stevenage who also follow Orlando City talking about Stevenage, and I said, well, if you're gonna follow my hometown club, I'm gonna follow yours, and the rest is history, as they say. My friend Kevin came to town with a jersey that he gifted me. For those that follow Stevenage, was the away ketchup and mustard jersey, and I was super excited about it. We took a picture at Explorer Stadium. That's where Orlando City plays, and I'm holding the jersey, and I tagged the team, and the team follow me on Twitter and all that good stuff. And like I said, the rest is history, as the kids say. And I started making friends in the fan base. I started following the club, and to follow Stevenage in 2019, probably the darkest era of the club, arguably one of the worst seasons ever, and the most unlikely outcome. Uh, Barry got kicked out of the EFL in League One, unfortunately, and my heart goes out to those fans. And Macclesfield Township was deducted enough points that Stevenage finish in what regularly would have been a relegation spot. But in this case, they managed to get the reprieve, and Stevenage got to play League Two. In the eyes of a lot of people, undeservingly so. And that's fine. I don't think there's a Stevenage fan or supporter out there that can say that honestly we deserve to be in the league. You know, we were deserving of relegation due to the awful mismanagement of the club on and off the pitch. You know, we just made bad decisions, and football is unforgiving. I always counter by telling people, "Hey, well, in 1996, the club should have gone up. It was denied promotion. Blah 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 blah. This is just the universe writing things. So the universe owed us one, and we're cashing our chip, and that's it. That's the way I look at it. After that, we had an okay season, finishing middle of the table. Could have gone into playoffs, but just didn't. And then last year it was a complete disaster. 7 games to go. Steve Evans comes in, saves the club from relegation in an incredible way. Um, Matt Farley, who produces the a podcast covering Stevenage, award-winning podcast. There you go, my friend. Award-winning podcast. He invited me to the show, and we spoke about what needed to happen. And I remember saying at that time we were playing the team that was right below us, Olam Athletic, and we lost at home 1-0. And I thought, oh my God, we're going down. But somehow we got the wins. We stay up. Olam actually got relegated, and today they are languishing at the bottom of the National League. So that tells you there was a lot of people who felt that maybe going down for Stevenage was going to be some sort of reorganization that was going to make us better. I don't believe that. I don't believe in taking steps back uh, in order to move forward. I believe let's fix this where we are and let's move forward. Um, Steve Evans, I'm not gonna lie to you. I knew very little of him before he came to Stevenage. I have a friend who's English here in Orlando, who also follows Orlando City, of course, and is a Leeds supporter, and he was familiar with him because Steve managed that club, and he thought of him the world, and he he was like, hey, just a good guy, just didn't happen, he didn't work out in my club, but he's gonna do good for you, and well, like I said, long story short, we're promoting. 12 months later, you see night and day. 12 months ago, I was already making plans on like, well, if Stevenage goes down to the National League, I won't be able to see them live. I guess I'm gonna have to find see if I can listen to Three Counties Radio online, blah blah blah. I was like already making all this things in my head. I had a Twitter friend that followed Greensby that was relegated, and that year that they were in the National League, he had to jump through a ton of hoops trying to stay on top of what the club was doing. It was very nightmarish. Nowadays, for the American public, with Welcome to Wrexham, which is the show that on Hulu that at least here in the States that was covering um, this two Hollywood personalities purchasing the club and all the dealings of the National League. Americans now are finally finding out what it's like to be in the lower leagues of football and what it's like to be out of the EFL. My heart goes out to that fan base. 14, 15 years in the National League seemed incredibly excessive, so difficult to get out of it. And I looking back, I just think that Stevenage wouldn't be as lucky as Grimsby to just go down and make themselves back out of the EFL. There's a ton of very good teams that have gone down to the National League and just languish there, or worse, they go down and they keep getting themselves into this tar pit, if you will, where they can't get themselves out of it into the EFL. And I am just very thankful that Steve came in and won with the players that we had. Sometimes when managers come in other teams that I follow and leagues and stuff, people are always like, oh well, that manager needs time. They need time to gel. He needs time to learn what he has, his staff. He needs to get his guys. Um, and Steve did not need any of that. Didn't have the luxury of any of that. He just came in and created tactics that got wins, basically. And this season, same way. Great memories to me. The FA Cup run, going to Aston Villa and winning, coming from behind, an incredible moment. This was the opportunity for a lot of people that follow me on social media, due to my podcasting with Orlando City. They know that I follow Stevenage, but they never had the opportunity to see my team play. And for a lot of people, that was the first opportunity they did, and a lot of people were like, "Wow, now I see why you like him so much." And where I'm standing right now, where I'm sitting, this is my kitchen, and I am 4,400 miles away from center circle at the Lamex Stadium, where Stevenage plays at home. And I never felt the 4,000 miles being there. I always feel like I'm part of the fan base. I always feel like I'm there with the boys. And Stevenage has brought a lot of joy um, to my life. And right now I own 8 Stevenage jerseys. 2 of them signed by the players. I have some signed memorabilia. I I have so much like my fanatism for Stevenage is starting to rival the one for Orlando City, which is, the grounds are 10 minutes away from my house, and it's in the city where I live. Um, but I'm starting to find that, and I had the opportunity this past year to watch games with Stevenage fans that happened to be on holiday here in Orlando. So that was pretty cool to me to have the opportunity to to link with people um, from the fan base finally. So anyhow, uh, the like I said, I just I've been seeing all these videos about the club going up, and I just wanted to throw my hat in the ring and let you know what I feel about Stevenage is the club that I consider my own, and maybe there's not that many League 2 sides now. League 1, baby, how about that? That have overseas fan base. Of course, Wrexham now is dripping with international fans. But like I said, I did not needed uh, um, Hollywood owners or a cool show to fall in love with my club. um, I think Stevenage is certain deserving of a book, that will chronicle the story of the past 4 or 5 years. Stevenage is certainly deserving of a documentary. I think the story is short of a miracle, really is. So I would like to close by reading a posting that Steve had on LinkedIn, out of all places. I don't think Steve is a guy of Twitter or Instagram or anything like that, but he certainly is on LinkedIn. And 3 days ago, he posted this incredible message to the fan base, and one of which I think we should read and internalize. Steve, in my opinion, the 20, almost 30 years, wow, I can't believe it. Almost 30 years that I've been following football internationally and club level um, here in the United States, which has not been easy at times. Um, Steve exemplifies, in my opinion, what a manager should be. People need to understand that when your manager is firing on all cylinders, everything is great at the club. Uh, Managers are beyond just winning and losing. They are the ones to establish a culture. And when you have a leader of this caliber, people are willing to go to hell and back. If you've been in the military like I have, you understand this concept. I had the opportunity. I served in the Navy, and about 8 years ago, a friend of mine retired after 20 years of service, and the keynote speaker for his retirement ceremony was our old Master Chief, and it was incredible to see him. And I was there with a friend, and he came running to us and said, "I don't remember your names, but I know you served under me." And we reintroduced ourselves, and we were talking about all the things that we had done after the Navy, this and that. And I always felt, hey, we didn't make it a career. We did one enlistment, we got out. Maybe he thinks of us less than our friend here who stayed 20 years. And after we were done, my friend was saying he was a paramedic in North Carolina, and I'm a field service engineer for biomedical engineering. And he said, outstanding. I could have never asked anything less from my man, and I just at that moment, I mean, if a recruiter was there, I mean, I just feel so special because that's what leaders of men do. They bring the best out of you. They inspire you, and even when you move on, you leave with something that will inspire you to be allergic to losing. So without dragging this on, I will read Steve's message, and I'm quoting here. The reality is that back last summer, the team was 66 to 1, outsiders for promotion, and the shoulders of favorites for relegation. The chairman, Leon Hunter, and myself planned a campaign, and the strategy was agreed. It was evidently a very successful plan. Our recruitment was focused and targeted. Brought together what we brought together was a squad of young men who loved proving others wrong. I will stop short of naming them individually, but every first team squad member has played a huge part. He goes on to thank all his staff, and finally he says, "Finally, I want to give my thanks to the people of Stevenage, in particular our supporters. Simply amazing, and I applaud you. You have suffered and watch others around you watch their team being successful. Now is your turn." He goes to thank his family, and a key part of his message to others: if I had a brick for every personal insult I get thrown at me, I will not live in the big house I do today, but use them to build a castle the size of Buckingham Palace. So that's it. I personally gonna use that one, Steve. I left him the following message: Steve, you're the gold standard for all football managers, and I mean that. I support Board all the way. Uh, in Orlando, Florida. I plan to be at the Lamex for a game next season. I hope to have the honor of shaking your hand up the borough. And he answered me, which shocked me. He said, "Hi, David. Bring some sunshine with you, my friend." I sure will try. So that again, that that says it all. What's in store for Stevenage? Is anybody's guess. Do we keep the club? Do we keep the first team as is? Do we let some people go? Do we improve on some areas? It's obviously going to be higher competition. As of the recording of this video, we know uh, Leighton Orient and Stevenage are going up. We do not know who the third automatic is going to be and who's going to be the winner of the playoffs. But we, I can tell you that I just don't want us to be a flash in the pan in League One. We have been there before. I felt that we went up to League One with a less talented squad, um, not as good of a manager, and we managed to be there for years. So my expectation as a fan is to go to League One, secure our place there, and start building towards being a championship side. A lot of people think that for a town the size of Stevenage, a lot of people think that um, for its proximity to London, the best this team can be is a League One side. I don't believe that. Sky's the limit. And I will finish with this. When I got my first Stevenage jersey, I went to the team shop for Orlando City to purchase some things, and I walked in, and of course, everybody is always asking me, "What? The Burger King logo was a thing, right?" And the attendant looked at me and goes, "Stevenage, what league do they play? What country?" And I was telling him the story, and he said, "Oh well, that's awesome because you're gonna get to see them go all the way to the Premiership." And at the time, I was like, "Oh, well, I don't know, how long that's gonna be." But now I dream, I dream big, and who knows what what football has in store for Stevenage. Certainly, I plan to be at the Lamex next year. I think it's overdue, and however and whatever, I will be supporting my club as I have always done. And so, Steve, thank you very much for all you have done for the club. I said again, short of a miracle worker. I know all the Stevenage fans appreciate what you have done, and we're all excited for what's ahead. And I'm thankful for Stevenage. I found my place in the terraces. I'm happy, and not only that, I am proud to be counted among the club's faithful. With nothing else to be said, come on, Borough. Look at that. Look at that. Tricky Reds of England, baby. Tricky Reds of England. And to the fans, I send them a big hug. To the players, every single one of them. Thank you very much. You have brought a lot of happiness and joy to this humble fan. 4,400 miles away. Up the Borough. We're going to League One. 12 months ago. If you would have told me then, I would have recommended that you seek medical help. Come on, boys. Up the Borough. Thank you very much for watching the video, and may God bless you. And let's see what a new league has in store for us. All right, let's go.